Right, hello, welcome to this live stream. I'm going to be covering today the questions, what are the pros and cons of using a lead generation agency when you are a B2B company? Should you use one, or should you aim to build your own lead generation and client conversion ability in-house exclusively? Now in this video I'm going to give you my take on this question, and I think it'll be a take that you haven't heard before at this level of clarity. Before we get into the topic of lead gen agencies, let's take a step back and look at a few business fundamentals, because I can only get my message across to you if we agree on a few basic premises, some core assumptions. And if we don't agree on these, then there's no point in discussing this and we can pack up and go home. So premise number one is that you are in business for the long term, right? You're not just trying to tide yourself over before the next job opportunity comes around. You want to be running your business 5 or 10 years from now. Premise number two is that you want to grow the business. There are coaches and consultants who are okay with getting their monthly 3K, 5K and just go home. There's no problem with that, but this video isn't for you then. And assumption number three is that getting new clients is a core competency. And as we know from textbooks, core competencies should not be outsourced. Now this assumption is a bit of an outflow of assumptions number one and number two, but if you agree with number one and number two, the number three is kind of logical, right? If you say that you're in business for the long term, you want to grow, then you should consider client acquisition a core competency. I mean, there's effectively two fundamental aspects of any business: getting clients and delivering value to them. So let me quickly draw this up for you. Let me just quickly pause this. So here is a CEO of a company, right? I assume that's you. And here is his sales team. And here is his operations team. His or her operations team, right? So here you have the client acquisition side of a business, and here is the delivery, client delivery, delivering value to the client. You need both, naturally. And of course, there's also a prospecting team. Whose goal is to deliver leads to the sales team, who will then close them and make them into clients. And that is essentially any business out there, getting clients and serving them, okay? Now, as you are starting out, obviously you're everything here. You're the prospecting, sales, and operations team all in one person. So this visual applies to you no matter the size of your business. Now, let's quickly look at the operations part. I'm sure that you would agree that outsourcing operations, the part where you deliver value to clients, that would mean you don't have a business, right? You're basically an affiliate. And I know that's not you. My audience tends to be not affiliate, but people who just run a business. So you wouldn't outsource operations. Would you outsource client acquisition? Well, not if you agree with premise number three, namely that getting clients is a core competency. Because what would happen if you outsource client acquisition? Imagine, if you outsource all of that part, if you're just sitting there, you just execute on the leads that somebody else delivered to you. What does it look like? Well, that's basically what an employee does, right? It's even worse, because at least as an employee, you have a basic level of job security and severance pay and so on. So it's a really bad place to be, cutting yourself off from the entire sales team. And what does it look like if you just cut off prospecting, but not sales? Well, that's the place you find yourself in if you use a lead gen agency. It's one level above of what is essentially an employee status. It's better because at least you control part of the sales process, and but you have a key vulnerability in how you run your business. Now you may say all of that is nonsense, outsourcing prospecting is all fine because it's just like outsourcing HR or accounting or any other function. Well, I say no way. By outsourcing prospecting, you're cutting yourself off from the market. You're not at the party. You have your friends tell you how the party went. And I'm not saying that you personally, if you're running a business of whatever, $500,000 or $1 million in revenue, that you personally have to go out there and do prospecting. I say this function should be in-house. There should be a junior employee or contractor who has to share their results with you and who you direct in how they do prospecting. That's the only way to run a business if you agree with all the three premises. So does that mean that there's absolutely no place for using a lead gen agency ever? Well, I think there is a good reason to use a lead gen agency, and that is in the following scenario. You're running your business from prospecting to client delivery. It works. You have predictability in that system. And then you use a lead gen agency to simply add more fuel to the fire, to get you more. And you're going to look for two signals. Signal number one is that as soon as the lead gen agency is delivering you enough clients so that it would warrant for you to have a new team member to add somebody to this group, to do that in-house, you gather all that potential that the lead gen agency has given you, and you insource that back in. And then you use them for the next step. So you're using the lead gen agency as a support system, as a stepping stone to help you grow. Signal number two that you're looking for in a lead gen agency is CAC, customer acquisition cost. If the lead gen agency, after a couple of months of working with you, is able to deliver you leads at a significantly lower cost than your in-house efforts, well, that's a great signal that you're doing something wrong. Because you don't have your ear at the pulse of the market. You're not familiar with the latest tools. You're out of touch. So the lead gen agency is serving as a canary in the coal mine to alert you that something is wrong and that you need to take action. But it would be really, really wrong to then succumb to the temptation of using the lead gen agency exclusively. It's just to say, all right, the lead gen agency does it better than we can do this. Let's just give it all to them. Because that's essentially the same thing as if you said, well, I just don't want to walk anywhere anymore. I'm just going to use the car only. Yeah, it's convenient, it's comfortable, but it really leaves you exposed because you're going to get fat and flabby. You're going to get exposed to the vicissitudes of life, and you will just atrophy and degenerate, right? So lead gen agencies are a great way to just help you step up from the existing level where you are slowly to the next one, to smoothly step that up, and to test whether you are at the pulse of the market, whether your own acquisition efforts are actually really good or not. So if this sounds interesting to you, I would like to invite you to a training that I'm running next Tuesday on the 4th of August. It's called How to Turn LinkedIn likes and comments into leads and clients. There I will cover the entire method that I use for client acquisition on LinkedIn, but we'll put a special emphasis on social selling, how you can leverage your own content and get those people who engage with your content to get them to turn them into leads and clients. So I hope you can join, and I look forward to seeing you there. Next Tuesday, 4th of August, the link is in the description of this video or in the comment, wherever you see this. All right? I see you then.